So I watched another film today, obviously. This one was from Senegal. And actually, believe it or not, I've seen another film from the same director. I'm going to butcher the fuck out of his name, though. I think it's pronounced Djibril Diop Mambéty. Hopefully I said that right. Um, so I saw a film. So my undergrad is in comparative literature, and I studied mostly French literature and for a while Arabic. And so I did a lot with North African studies and took several classes about North African studies, and particularly French colonialism in North Africa. So I had seen a film by this director called Hyenas, or Hyen, I think, and it's a comedy from the 90s about a woman who makes a lot of money and then comes back to her hometown, basically to try to get the community to kill this man that she hates who broke her heart by bribing them with a lot of money, and it's quite funny. Hopefully that one's on DVD now. I know when I watched it, I had to rent like a super old VHS from the Berkeley Library, like the Berkeley campus library, and luckily I had a VHS player. Anyways, the film I watched this time was an earlier film from this director called Touki Bouki, which means the journey of the hyena, so lots of hyenas. Although I did not see any hyenas in this film. I believe this is on DVD both from Kino and in the Criterion Collection from the World Cinema, like Martin Scorsese Presents World Cinema or whatever, that 6 film set. I watched it on the TCM app. It was the TCM import this week. And it's a friend of mine who also studied comparative literature but is a few years younger than me. This is her favorite film. And so when I saw it on the schedule, I was like, I'm watching it. And then I realized it was the same director from Hyenas, and I was like, I'm going to love it. And I really did. It's a great film about listless youth, basically. One warning, if you don't like the idea of animals being slaughtered, the opening sequence is going to freak you out. That's a spoiler. But animals get killed when they're getting processed for meat. So it's, and unlike in America, I'm assuming they really did kill those cows, but they probably also then ate the cows. So it's a little gross. There's some blood and some dead animals. That's all I'm gonna say. Sorry, but the way it's counter spliced with other scenes is really, in terms of symbolism, is very well done, and sort of he takes a lot of things that are sort of traditional African things, and then or traditional within this part of Africa, and juxtaposes them with more modern sort of colonial bits of modern Africa, and I think the commentary is quite interesting. Where was I going with that? Oh, he also, so the film isn't linear, and it's very much inspired by the French New Wave, which is fascinating because the film has a lot to say about both colonialism in Africa and the children who have grown up in colonial Africa and their sort of ideas of what like life in France would be and why that would be better for them than the place where they are currently living. So to then use and he's a little critical of it, and so to use or to pay homage to a type of filmmaking that comes from that very place that he's sort of criticizing is kind of fascinating. It's beautifully shot. Cinematography was done by Pap Samba Sao, and it is just gorgeous. Luscious colors, beautiful seascapes. Some of the best filmed tomatoes I've ever seen, to be honest. I've seen some good filmed tomatoes, by the way. Jane Campion's Sweetie, another Criterion with beautifully filmed tomatoes. Tweet me your favorite filmed tomatoes, and I will retweet. I promise. So, what else was I going to say about this film? So it's about two. Yeah, now I've talked about the film. I didn't even talk about the plot. It's two like late teens, early 20s, university age students. One of them's a student for sure. The other one, I think he's supposed to be a cattle herder dude. Herdsman, shepherd. What is the word? You know what I'm talking about. Who rides around on a motorcycle with cow horns on it, and they are both disaffected with the life they lead. She's learning too much to put up with the way women are being treated, and he's just like kind of a rebel without a cause. And so they are trying to get the hell out, but they are too poor to pay for their seafare to get to France. So they're coming up with ways to raise this money to get the hell out. And some schemes work better than others. And some bits are very comical and other bits are very dark. And I'm not going to tell you how it ends, but it's got a beautiful use of music to go sort of cement the final scene of the film. And it also, so it has commentary on colonialism and post-colonialism, but it also has commentary on young love and being a rebel without a cause and traditionalism and progressivism. I'm making up words. Obviously, it's late. I'm hoping I can find some more of his films available elsewhere, because this one was quite fun. I've run out of useful things to say. This is Touki Bouki from 1973 by Djibril Diop Mambéty, and you can rent it from the Criterion Collection. You can stream it on TCM's, watch TCM for another couple of days, till next Sunday, I think. Again, if you're like weary of animal slaughtering, maybe skip it or skip past that part. I don't know. Otherwise, it's a great piece of cinema, and I highly, highly recommend it.